Всем приветики, и мы продолжаем похождение нашей бравой компании гребаных путешественников. Так, мы в рубке корабля. Отлично. Смотрим, что у нас по заданиям. Так. Какие-то еще зацепки надо найти. Ай, так. Монарх, это что, мне на монарх теперь пиздячить? Или сюда еще заглянем? Ладно, прыгнем на первопроходец. А потом, может, двинем на монарх.
I have received a transmission from Roseway from a Dr. Shaw.
Да, ну давай.
Welcome back, Captain. I have received a transmission from Roseway from a Dr. Shaw. Beginning playback now.
What? Oh, is this on? Oh, it's on right now. Oh, blast. Hello? I'm trying to reach the captain of the Unreliable. I'll keep this short lest I get caught. Please return to Roseway as soon as you can. I have an item of great value that you'll be interested in.
Ебучий случай.
Now, how does this blasted thing turn off? Damn engineers never label these toggles clearly. Is it the...
The transmission is complete, Captain.
Долбоёбик.
I'll be here.
Так, интригу накрутили, конечно. Ух! И коровы исчезли. Зато мойщик тут. Может, мойщик смыл в космосах. Так, ладно. Но мы пока не будем отклоняться от курса. Мы сначала порешаем тут вопросы. А потом отнемся на Роузвей. Вернемся на Терру 2. Тыкс. Я бегу, и мы бегим. На всех парах летим. Интересно, что-то ассортимент вообще обновляется. Я хочу себе броньку крутую. Ебать, 20 уровень. 33 броня, что, блядь, слабо. Ой, слабо. Прям вообще печаль. Ногам пизда. Хуяк. Отлично. Давай, поднажми. Так. Ну, дружище, давай.
Were I a gambling woman, I'd wager you're responsible for my mechanical safe return. I can't thank you enough.
Да я тут вообще красавчик.
Keep hanging around and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? You have yourself a day, Van.
Да, выходной, конечно.
A day, Van.
Да, выходной, конечно. Ты прикольная. Кстати говоря. Так, что ты мне тут
Something I
продашь?
can help you with? A better selection than you'll find on the promenade deck, and a quality commensurate with a friend of the station.
Всякая хуйня. Убеждение. Плюс 5, медицина плюс 5. Блять, ну... Убеждение, медицина. В принципе, очень такие штуки полезные. Поэтому куплю. Так, что у нас по заданию? Монарх. А где этот поц, который меня вызывал? Что, оно тут не осветилось? Довольно-таки странно. Придется вручную туда пилить. Ну, то есть без наводочек. Удостоверение морпеха. Валяется на видном месте. Бесхозное. Круто. Еще раньше его не заметил. Ну, хуёво искал, наверное.
You'll learn to keep your eyes to yourself tonight. Nobody wants to.
Красотища. Блин, тут же меня никто не видит, по идее. Так вот. Чтоб неповадно было.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the latest Aetherwave serial.
Да, монарх. Но вернемся на Терру в Роузвее.
We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Посмотрим, что нам типа расскажет интересного. Так, я понимаю, тут все отреспались, наверное. А лут ни хера не появился. Может, чем-то автоматы порадуют. Что-то пока ничем не радует. Что-то, блять, опять золотая броня мне нахер не всралась. Хрень. Посредственно. Так, посмотрим, что тут с врагами. По-моему, пока на горизонте нету никого. Вот так как они респятся, то скорее всего, что будут. Поэтому мы сохранимся. Так, где-то тут эти твари. Ну, конечно, все тут, блядь, тут как тут. Как говорится, все тут без изменений. Роузвей. Городок моей мечты. Так, где этот псих-одиночка? По-моему, где-то он тут был в лаборатории. Да, здесь. Вот он, долбоебик.
Ah, I remember you. You must have received my wireless. Thank the law. I went to great risk to send that. Oh, I'm not allowed to use the communications room. We are still, after all, a secret facility. I asked you here because I have a working prototype of the Altinature, Auntie Cleo's very first weapon. I'd like you to have it before it gets confiscated. The schematics you fetched for me lent themselves well to the creation of the beauty you now possess. Unfortunately, Auntie Cleo R&D felt otherwise. The market's already saturated, they said. Weapons are everywhere. They aren't interested in mass-producing the Altinature, which makes this an illegal prototype weapon. Given your unlawful proclivities, I thought it'd be safest with you. So here we are. I'd rather see it in the hands of a free agent than destroyed.
Ну, спасибо, мужик. Спасибо. Прилетел с одной пушкой. Сука! Так. Ультнатура. Ультиматум оплот. 198, 190, сука. В чем разница? Просто, ну, с этим ядом... Ну, коррозия. Коррозия, простите. Коррозия. Ну, этот огненный. Че, выглядит красиво, конечно. Ой. Ну, ладно. Хули нам, пацанам. Блядь, сюда я, по-моему, не съебусь на корабль. А нет, можно.
I believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the late.
Ну, погнали на монарх. Чувствую, там будет задница. Каскади. Блять, а мне куда? Стеллар Бэй. Бля, я хз, куда мне надо.
This aether wave surge. No.
Ну, блин. Начну, наверное, с этой.
We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills.
Так. Ох, ебать, газовый гигант. Ебучий случай. Ебануться. Ну, блядь, ребятушки, погнали. Так, таким составом и пойдем. Охуеть! Ебать! Ебать! Срань господняя. Тут такое впечатление, блядь, что атмосферы вообще нет. Тупо звездное небо чистое такое. Или это типа ночь? Хер просышь. Ебать. Пейзаж, конечно, пиздец вообще. Ну что это, блядь? Жесткач какой-то. А, ё-моё. Да запрыгивай на бочки. Да, да сука, что такое, блядь? Персонаж какой-то дохлый. Ебать, там какие-то грибы, блядь. Охуеть. Да, это тут еще та помойка. Ладно, надо потихоньку разнюхивать, что к чему тут. Упс, спиздил. Так, карта. О май гад. О май гад, о май гад, о май гад. Ну. Ну, и что ты метка? Значит. А нахуй показывать, правильно? Это уже лишняя информация. Подумала игра и скрутила в кукиш. Так, никто не видит. Так, лифт, это понятно. Почта. Транспортная система Аргас. Вставьте на состояние капитана. Удаленную посадку. Удаленная посадка, что бы это значило? Эй, люди! Я иду к вам. Встречай меня, новый дивный мир.
Hey,
Ох, ебать.
hold on there. I gotta sign you in.
Серьезно, ебало у него. Стоит к нему вообще подходить? Обойти-то, в принципе, можно. Ну, ладно, попробуем быть законопослушным гражданином этой системы. Алкион.
Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right?
Ну, чувак, тебя тут потрепало хорошо, я смотрю.
You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records.
Чувак, это твой звездный час.
Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill.
Ну так, с первых секунд и уже заработал репутацию, красавчик.
We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-roaders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about rapidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly.
Я рад, что это нечисть не придется выпиливать.
Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell. Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor. I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? That's Bertie Holcomb, only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever.
I wonder if he's kin. Dad had family that worked for Rizzo's. I never got to meet them.
Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something? Oh, you're real funny. Guess I don't feel so bad for missing what goes on in the rest of Stellar Bay. Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
Так вот, с первых минут уже и работку подкинули. Отлично, не пропаду. Так, ну автоматы, порадуйте меня интересным товаром. Да нихуя. Нихуя, все одно и то же. Одно и то же каждый день. Сука. Боже, первый уровень-то вы гоните. Нахрен мне броня первого уровня. 11. Нечего брать. Нечего брать. Просто нечего. А у меня уровень уже... Сука. У меня уже 16-й. Это что за бомж?
You want to talk to the boss? She's in the back of the warehouse.
Да, как же тут все серо и мрачно, блин. Я об этом не просил. Даже хрен спиздишь, все смотрят на тебя. Опа, охранник МС. Вау-вау-вау-вау.
You don't look like sublife. Must be freelance.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I thought you were quoting It's a Wonderful Directorate.
Got any news from the rest of the household?
Так, пока тут, блядь, беспросветный мрак.
Laws. Can a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace?
Ну, какой холщеный тип.
What I am doing, sir, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place. This law's forgotten town. Cut off from the rest of the colony. Removed from any culture. I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted. Days of consumption and culture. When we weren't squabbling with the iconoclasts for lack of better things to do. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
Неразговорчивый тип. Ну хуй на тебя. Вау, бар! Какой шикарно, ебануться. Ой, блядь. Это стрёмная тёлка, и мне она нужна. Ну, блядь, тут нужно сохраниться, конечно. Так, ну и очкую, надо с кем-то попроще для начала поговорить. Угу, чьё-то, окей. Автомат. Оу, бронька. Хуйня, хуйня, хуйня. Тоже. Ну, блядь. 36. Так, а сколько у меня? Сука, 26. Бля, ну неохота выглядеть как попугай. Ну ладно, я пока подожду немножко, потом если что прикуплю. Так, карточка для игры лото Ниоки из бара. Несколько фраз подчеркнуто. Прямо между глаз, самый быстрый слог на монархе. Их было 3, не 4. Вот такенное рептилидонище. Гостишь чем? Это типа какая-то настолка, что ли? Так, параша. Конечно, не фонтан. Опа, никто не видел, да? Все. Бегу и... Сука, не смотрит вроде, да? Хуяк спиздил. Блять! Увидел, сука! Ну какой ты глазастый, блять. Так, давайте я запугаем. Ну, а то не выебывайся. Петушара. Так, это что за чучело?
Got any news from the rest of house?
Watch your step. if
Так,
you
с
venture
барменом надо
outside the
поговорить.
wall.
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger. Enjoy.
Бухнуть это
If
святое.
you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you? Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka, on account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you? Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such. Bunch of marauders broke into the executive compound, slaughtered everyone. Corporations pulled out of Monarch not long after. I thought everyone knew. But then that was 10 years ago. Still feels fresh to us every time we look at our walls, though. Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all. Nope. But a man can dream.
Да, нихуя у тебя нет.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
You don't look like Sublight.
О, терраса. Хуенчик. О, поговорим, давай.
New face, huh? You from off-world? A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Here, let me buy you a drink. Consider it an MSI welcome. Why don't you
Хорошее
grab a
начало.
chair, sit a spell and revel with us?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Me and my friends have taken our destiny into our own hands. We're untethered, free of responsibility and worldly cares. Well, as long as we don't run out of bits. But until the windfall's gone, we're riding high. See, we just walked out on our work. Had enough, we did. But now we're striking. I don't see how. When Sanjar took over MSI, he tossed all the old corporate rules. We ain't required no more to work whatever job the company demands. Our supervisor Velma goes on and on about quarterly profits and meeting quotas. But that ain't what Sanjar promised us. Velma refuses to negotiate, so we're refusing to work. We won't go back until she agrees to pay us fair and proper. Us on Monarch. We're free from the board, you know? We have the right to lobby for better hours and pay. I wouldn't doubt it. You look like the type who tends to come out on top. Not like us cogs, trying to be the squeaky wheel but just getting deadlocked. It's been days, but Velma won't even hear us out. Maybe you could just make her listen to our demands. You would do that? We sure are lucky you decided to come up to the patio today. I knew drinking up here would be good for more than the view. Sure thing. What did you want to discuss? Not forever, but we've each saved up our bits, and I stashed them safe in my home by the diner. I reckon we could last a week or two at least. If I knew that, I'd have tried it. Talking reasonably got me nowhere. Maybe you'll fare better. The others wanted to blackmail her, but we're above that. Besides, them are just rumors. We got no proof they're true. I would never endorse such an untoward tactic, you know, but, well, there's rumors that Velma's taking a cut off the profits. So far it's just gossip, you know, but if there was any proof to be had, it'd be in the Saltuna warehouse.
Это тут прям целый детектив начинается. Так.
It'll be good to get some steady pay again.
Thanks for the help.
Работники, блядь, года. Опача. Так, а ну-ка сейчас проверим, закроем дверь. Сохраночка. И пиздим все. Тупо-тупо все пиздим. Да что ж ты, сука, меня палишь, а? А тут уже и брать нечего. Ой, облом. Ладно. Так. Даже ноги целые остались, круто.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding all over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn raft out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you? Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you? Outstanding! What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger? Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me something to clear my head. Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the money, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set. Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Ой, куча заданий накидали. Так, по-моему, тут уже заблудился. Пришел оттуда, окей.
You don't look like Sublight.
We don't get many outsiders.
We don't get many outsiders.
Так, это что у нас тут? Какая-то дыра там, блядь. Подозрительно. Так, это что у нас? Монарх. Какое-то административное здание, походу.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Да все заебись, мужик. Это что за хрень?
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
No, I mean more than usual.
Wouldn't know. I made it a point.
Wouldn't mind smelling like salt tuna if we could sell more of it.
Странненько. Так. Кетунцы из глубин. Ничего интересного. Куда я попал? Хрен его знает. Что это, блядь, вообще такое? Нихуя себе. Ебать, это порт. Это, мать его, за ногу порт. Хуя себе, блядь, руины. Вечно забываю, что надо активировать подъем. Да, как оно-то все, блядь, любопытненько. Так, что у нас на втором этаже? Интересненького. Ключ от контейнера Вельмы. Ну хорошо, поищем. Не вопрос. Так, личные дела. Сука, взлома не хватает. Ладно, я вернусь, Короче, это, походу, завод по заготовке китунца. Мистер Ой? Что за хрень? Сделал сам не знаю что. Ну вот это велма ебаная.
Wouldn't mind smelling like Saltuna if we could sell.
Look, I don't...
Ладно, с бабой пока говорить не будем. Надо разведать обстановочку. Чё, почем тут?
We're not the best equipped, but scouting for rats keeps us on our toes. Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay begins us.
Could I get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir. Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any
Feminism.
experience.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong,
Очередная love
silent
story.
Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. I couldn't. What if he says no? Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
Плакат, сучка.
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea
Наверное,
about.
какой-то тупой дурень.
Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Good to have standards, I guess.
I know what I'm looking for. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up. Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Шо позже, плакат
Has he
давай.
talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say? You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Ну, а ты что расскажешь?
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
Какие тут эти дела? Штаны протирать?
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. But if you're here for him, I suppose that means you aren't here for Saltuna. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. Now, I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board. Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting.
It is quite the rush. In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Чё-то проницательности не хватает.
Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. Back then, it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out.
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not, Mr. Sanjar. That's what being a community means. Treating people right, because it's the right thing to do.
Like that's what you saw in Edgewater? Come on. People look out for themselves.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely sway board policy. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. In a manner of speaking, many of us stayed behind, in an act of quiet but firm defiance. As the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI.
Must have pissed off some real big suits to get stuck with that.
On the contrary, I wrote lots of very important reports on behalf of top MSI officials before I was able to achieve this position. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
If you can't beat him, might as well join him and reach into their pockets.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community. And being cut off means slow strangulation. I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
But wait, what happens to the folks stuck on the wrong side of dangerous?
I'm afraid the welfare of a few hundred people is too minor a figure into the board's risk assessments.
Пару сотен на всю планету? Пиздец.
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. What can I do for you?
Так.
Here to do business with Sandra?
If you leave town, watch out for iconoclasts. They're almost as bad as the rats.
Тут особо не разговорчивые. Так, отчет по состоянию Stellar Bay. С тех пор, как были сняты старые ограничения MCI и был принят ряд мер по улучшению условий труда, такие как предоставление больничных и отгулов, уменьшение длительности рабочих смен на 24,9%, увеличение числа положительных оценок на 52,3%. Производительность труда неуклонно продолжает расти. Вывод продукции рыбного завода вырос на 15,2% в течение года. Наблюдается тенденция к постепенному замедлению роста. Снижение прибыли по сравнению с предыдущими годами объясняется, вероятно всего, ухудшением качества материалов и настроя сотрудников, периодическими перебоями в поставках, также потерей части персонала в связи с нападением мародера 7,2% и диких животных 10,3%. И переходом на сторону иконоборца 17,4%. Главной долгосрочной целью остается восстановление MCI в качестве члена коллегии. Однако на данный момент наиболее актуален вопрос защиты города от внешних опасностей. Около 32,8 годового бюджета всего города тратится на ремонт стен. Реальным решением был бы приток хорошо подготовленной охраны и поставки вооружения. Но с учетом уже перечисленных факторов и их влияния на местных жителей, такой исход представляется маловероятным. Слоган в работе. MCI по-настоящему впечатляющая маржа. Китунис от MCI на 43,28% питательнее, чем у других брендов. Stellar Bay весьма приличный торговый узел в полной опасности галактики. Да, весь этот у них. Ох, нихуя себе, прям с косой стоит. Крутой мэн. Так.
Sounds like rat. Oh, it does work. I bought some recipes about it.
Trust me, this is worth it.
Так, это тут у нас еще. Ой-ой-ой-ой. Так, вроде никого, да? Надо все спиздить. Нерабочий терминал. Городок, конечно, подуставший.
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own cathanoid.
Don't be so hard on her. With Brax missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
Very well, dearie. But you stop by any time you like. Hmm?
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember.
Quite the bedside manner, lady.
Well, it's so rare I get the pleasure of new company. What can Auntie Abigail do for you? And what a helpful young man you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits.
Whiskey helps, too.
Please leave medical advice to the professionals. Now, dearie, who's this pickup for? I'm so sorry, but with the iconoclasts and the marauder filth chasing away what little trade we get, I'm afraid I have to reserve my supply for Stellar Bay residents. Our reserves have gotten so low, I've even had to start locking the supply room upstairs. Isn't it a shame what some people will do to get a little extra? Aren't you a naughty boy? There are no discounts here, but Auntie knows what to do with mischievous men like you. Oh, I'd have to talk to Mr. Nandi about you, of course. Anyway, is there anyone else needing a pickup from Auntie Abigail? Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI, contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much, and you know me, dearie, I don't like to pry. I'm afraid not. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them.
Он что, сдох?
Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his. The one upstairs, where we store our medicines. In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some
Отлично, сука, сдох.
rather daring
Ебать копать.
combinations.
Сука.
It's a philosophist symbol of some kind, dearie. Never you
Он
mind.
сдох или нет?
The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but
Сука,
the
так
bodies
нахуй мне
tend to
дохлый,
attract
блядь.
beasties. Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie.
Тело доктора Уильямса. Ебать, его что, не закопали даже?
Chin up,
Ох,
dearie.
вот они гонят. Кладовая наверху. Это понятно, что. А вот она закрыта. Ладно, я еще вернусь. Обещаю. Стеллар Бэй. Главные ворота, я понял.
Fresh blood at last. Stellar Bay could use. We're not the best equipped, but scouting for rats.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
Так, это у нас тут что?
Someone's been killed!
О боже.
I think I'm gonna be sick. No! I just stepped in a dead man's blood. And I think one of the flies landed on my mouth. If you're going into the apartments, do not go into the lower one on the right. That's where the body is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go contemplate a hot shower.
Петух.
The body's in the first apartment on the
Да
right.
ты, сука, уебал. Хрень. Ох, нихуя себе, 41 уровень, хотел сказать. 41 единица брони. Да. Недурно.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
Not much I can do for this guy.
Стальная крыса. Случайно не отсылка к роману. Квитанция на ставки на тестбол. Квитанция на все более смелые ставки на команду почти колонисты. Оформлено в букмекерской конторе «Левое поле». Что-то мне подсказывает, что тут они замешаны в этом. Гребаные букмекеры. Походу вальнули чувака. Опа. Поспешно собранный чемодан. Несколько мятых костюмов одинакового покроя и цвета засунутый в чемодан. Окей. Обязательно. Че, сдох? Мы сейчас это проверим.
Here we go. Don't do this. Down they go.
Не, сука, живой. Вернее, живая. Да похуй, короче. Ну, уже и позу поменяла. Ой, так, ты ж не видишь, да? Отлично. Какая-то общага, блядь, или что это вообще такое? МС Нанди. Мистер Нанди, простите за беспокойство, но из апартаментов наверху сочится какая-то неприятная жидкость. Я не знаю, что Силия там держит, но она ведь работает на вас, так? Может, вы с ней поговорите? Айзек, пожалуйста, постарайся закрывать окна. Повторяю в 100 раз, оставляя их открытыми, особенно с едой на столе, ты приманиваешь жука-рой, а жука-рой доставляет проблемы всем. Бракстон, я знаю, что у тебя свободный график, и я это знаю, потому что слышу, как ты приходишь и уходишь в самое разное время дня и ночи, ха-ха. Но может попробуешь закрывать дверь потише? У меня очень чуткие нервы, и всякий раз, когда я слышу, как ты хлопаешь дверь, мне кажется, что у нас тут свой Эмбер Хайтс. Так, мало полезной информации, конечно. Ну что ж, еще нашарим.
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
If you got him stuck in an hour-long rant about mostly calling us, we'd be thankful.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh?
Так, тут у нас что? Адская коса. Адская коса никогда лишней не будет. Так, отлично, наворовались. Эти даже ухом не повели. Отлично.
You don't look like Sublight. Must be freelance.
А это что за заведение? Какая-то харчевня. Все такое, ничего интересного.
Watch your step. Well, we don't get me.
We don't...
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Что такое?
Good day to you.
Whoa, by the stars, my poor heart. I just about pissed my jumpsuit. Most people don't. Besides, this place is enough to try anyone's nerves. Where should I begin? With the oversized mantisaurs? Or perhaps the rap spewing acid at our walls? The board was right. This place isn't fit for human habitation, and I was a fool for staying. Sanjar, of course. He had all these glorious ideas about how he'd run Monarch. Rest periods between every work shift. No shift more than 10 hours long. It all sounds wonderful, until you realize there's only a few centimeters of repurposed steel between you and the deadliest creatures in the galaxy.
That's what she said.
There's truly no end to my suffering. Only every day. But in case you haven't noticed, we don't exactly get ships on a regular basis, yours notwithstanding.
Шо, хоть
And even
команду?
if I did scrape together enough to buy passage out with Sublight, which would mean reaching Fallbrook without getting eaten, shot, or dissolved into green goop, what then? Nothing. That's what. Because MSI is not in what you'd call good standing with the board. So even if I could get out of here, no one's gonna hire me. Even talking about it has my blood pressure up. I've really gotta stop. Lucky you.
Да, какие-то все негативные.
not getting any outsiders.
Все тихо, вы там на шухере стоите, девчонки. Не в ту сторону пошел. Надо продвинуться дальше.
Got any news from the rest of Halcyon?
Well, well. The only new folk I ever see in town are sublight runners from Fallbrook. But you don't look like one of Catherine's. What can I get you? If you don't see it, I don't got it. Don't go asking for the special reserve.
Ничего нового. Такое себе.
Watch your step.
Watch your step if you venture outside the walls.
Что, все обшарил? Получается, обошел весь город.
Sir, please, I need your help. Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
It's more dissolving than melting.
That is not helpful. Don't you tell me to calm down. I promised my boy I'd protect him for always. But how can I keep him safe if he's run away? He ran out into the wilderness a few days ago. I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders with toxic sulfur pools and poisonous glands, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy? He's been pining for an adventure. Says he's tired of living cooped up behind the walls. But he doesn't understand how dangerous it is out there. I warned him. A raptidon would snap him up first chance it got. I just know one's ripped his arm off and is gnawing on his sweet little fingers. He should have listened to his mama. I promised I'd keep him safe here with
Баба
me.
нагнетает.
He's been listening to those awful broadcasts that the iconoclasts put out. I begged Sanjar to put a stop to them, but did he? No! And now I just know my boy's run off the Amber Heights. That is, if a manta queen hasn't swooled out and eaten his entrails for breakfast already. That old settlement, southwest of Stellar Bay. I don't know which is worse, the thought of my son shacking up with the nutty iconoclasts, or that he never made it. It's Rats could be nesting in his rotting body alongside the road as we speak. Or maybe marauders got him, pulled all his teeth out, crushed him into their drugs and made him snort them. Oh, the things that could happen to my sweet baby.
Ебать, она жжет.
Those low-life degenerates, leading innocent boys into a life of danger. Oh, they make it sound so exciting, like it's noble to risk it all out there, fighting for the greater good. How noble is it to worry your loved ones? Not at all, I say. But still they preach their sermons of anarchy and rebellion to anyone who'll listen. If they weren't holed up in Amber Heights, I'd knock them all upside the head. Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
Ух, ебануться можно. Ну и дура. О, нихуя себе. Бесхозная пушка.
Wrapped musk and painted eyes, right here.
Так, а что ближе? Угу. Букмекерскую контору. Надо заглянуть, я совсем про нее забыл.
I hear those rich people in Bazangan pay a handsome bit for rat musk.
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest Tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H. Mammoths. I'd heard they'd gotten a new hacker. Is that why everyone's making such a fuss about you? But what are you doing on Monarch? Ha! Maybe we're not so isolated as I thought. So, what can I do for you? Graham's always filling the airwaves with this propaganda, like it's done him any good. All it means is the Tossball games get to us in fragments. Makes them real hard to watch. Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth. They were pretty distinct.
Monarch doesn't exactly have a thriving dental industry, and Isaac seemed to get stuck in all sorts of bad habits, dietary and otherwise. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter, other times he'd keep betting on a losing team, started owing the wrong people money. I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Good. Someone's gotta. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Так, еще бабе надо зайти в, блядь, эту фабрику питомца. Сука, где эта фабрика? О, блядь, это что, шериф? А, сука, заперт. Не то. Это не то.
You don't much like me, huh, Dr. Elliot?
It's nothing personal. I'm just not the touchy-feely type.
It's just... You seem fine with the others.
О, вот
Did
фабрика.
I do something to make you unhappy with me?
You gotta stop taking things so personal. You're setting yourself up for a let. Down.
Опять, сука, розовая броня. Мы находимся на углу 46, сука. Ах, блядь. Аж отсюда стартовал. Я отсюда и пришел. Фабрика где-то здесь. Да, вот она. Надо с бабенкой переговорить.
Hey, Velma, I got your caffeinoid pills.
You're a lifesaver. Hope Abigail didn't give you a hard time.
Just the usual. Any word on Braxton?
Nothing. I don't know how much longer I can cover for him either. Give me those pills, will you?
Here you go. You know, you might consider a real night's sleep instead.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing. This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it? She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too. Damn right it is. No. I paid Sublight for it. So, it's mine. And when Nell pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grimm may have asked for the poster, but it's not his until I take his money. It's staying locked up in my office until Nell shows with her money. Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering. Fine by me.
Барыга.
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. I can't keep working double shifts either. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts. We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get the salt tuna, fat, and mostly tumor-free. Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a Ground 6 Spacer. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. Tell him to complain to Catherine in Fallbrook, not me. Sublight's demanding more money for the same contracts, which means we're all in the same boat. Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent either.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate. Same thing as me. Where's your proof? Because I know no one's been poking around my terminal lately.
MSI is gonna have a hard time getting legitimacy if everyone's so uptight about a little embezzlement.
Just as a hypothetical. Nothing to see on my terminal, of course. Because I've done nothing wrong.
Беспалевно так вообще намекнула.
Maybe so. But I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk. But if the money's real, I bet you he keeps it at home. Near the diner.
You'd steal from your own people? That's low, man.
That's business. Someone's got to keep the lights on. For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life. Fine by me.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
It's always cranky.
You ever think about what goes on in the Marauders, Ed?
No.
Блин, где это не все могу понять.
Themselves, dress themselves, work together. Gotta be something of that.
All I need to know
Надо
is
быть,
that
наверное, с
the
другой
other
стороны.
side of that wall.
I'm sure someone said the same thing.
Опа! Жестокая банда. Да, это ведь банда. Ну-ка, ну-ка, разборки.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
Сука, долбоёбы.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
Вот сука.
How? That was supposed to go out with the next batch of salt tuna. What are you suggesting, pal? Wow. Most of the pencil pushers around here cave as soon as you look at them funny. Fine, we're going. This ain't worth it.
Сыкуны! Территорию они тут пометили. Долбоёбы. Ого, это же гопота. Пиздуйте.
A fine day for business, isn't it? Anyway, what can I do for you? But that's terrible. What happened? I'm glad to hear you've dealt with them. They've been causing quite a bit of trouble around town. I've been consumed with other matters of late, but I would have dealt with them eventually. Of course I would have. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your
Маловато.
services.
Так, что там следующее у нас? Какие проблемы порешать? В такие моменты начинаешь чувствовать себя нянькой. Нет, выше. Выше, 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 выше. Так вот, этот дурачок.
You again! You've really got to stop doing that!
А не она.
Jumpy? Who's Jumpy? I'm not Jumpy! Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got
Сука,
nothing
может
for
он
you,
пол
sorry.
поменял?
Dilated pupils, anxious posture, muscle spasms. He's high on some quality stuff.
No! Okay, maybe, just a little. Braxton always has a good stash, and I just like to let loose a little. Stop thinking about the marauders and the raptidons outside, you know? Oh, damn. He told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick, and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
Ой, ну такое.
Okay. We should hurry, Captain.
Обыщите дом. Сука. Чувство, надерут мне тут зад. Ну ладно. Где наша не пропадала? Ну встречай меня. Этот опасный дивный мир. Ох ты мой. Да. Бля, конечно, город неплохо тут устроился. Сука, прям как крепость. Так, до дома пилить и пилить.
Whew. Smells like those old Sundays when we'd unload Saltuna shipments at the cannery.
Am I the only one getting hungry?
Вот сучки. Вот суки. Какие вы шустрые. Давай, убей. Черт. Черт. Сука, чего вы такие неубиены, а? Блять. Да, я так долго не протяну. Уровень, заебись. Так, мне нужен взлом. Так, ну что делать? Все вкину на взлом. Паскудные твари, ишь, блядь, тут расплодились. Господи, что это за гриб-сморчок какой-то? Блядь, сколько же вас тут, ребятки. Сейф. Так, как бы с этими тварями разобраться. Так аккуратненько. Блять, и высоту не займешь. Блять, патроны. Сука. Давай, сдохни, падла. Отлично, отлично. Все сделали без потери. Так, что тут у нас? Да. Умер прям с крысы. Вернее, шпрыксы. Пусто, пусто, пусто. О. Это тоже всякая херня. Да нет, какой спач? Вы на приколе? Мне не до сна. Работы куча. Блять. Смотрим остальные домишки. Значит, интересно нароем. Запечатан. Что, бля, какая-то церквушка. Да, блядь, планета вообще не гостеприимная. Неудивительно, что отсюда все съебали. Еще церковь запечатана. Ни окон, ни дверей. Странно. А, не-не-не. Вот, блядь. Размазня. Наебал. Вход. Ну, трупы, как всегда, одни трупы. ПС, штурмовая винтовка ультра. Опа, что, священник? Котелок. Недурно. Прям еще приоденусь тут. Какая нычка. Можно и не заметить. Вот и вся церковь. Так, этот домик опечатан. Что тут у нас дальше? О, опять эти твари. Заебись. Че, одна была? Ага, хренушки. Сука. Не, умирать они, сука, вообще не хотят. Твою мать. Да, сразу на меня, конечно же. Ох, нихуя себе, какой у нее прыжок. Прямо просто. Да. Жесткие бои были. Так, что тут у нас? Так. Что-то я слышу. Что-то где-то там шумит, блядь. Твари где-то лазят.
Think they left anything good behind?
I wonder who used to live here. Do you suppose anyone remembers anymore?
Да, получается, загородили только центр. Пригород остался в жопе. кладбище. Тут и труп. Твою мать. Сука. Блять, что-то мне вообще поплохело. Сука, что, я один остался? А нет, еще одна жива. Но ненадолго. Фу. Блять, даже никто его не захоронил. Охуеть. Ой, красавчики. Так, что тут у нас? Жалко, могилы потрошить нельзя. И в склеп не зайдешь. Блять, трава такая высокая. Хрен что видно за нее. Блять, там этих тварей пиздец. И сюда никак не хочет. Это кладбище скучное. Так. Ага, это у нас церквушка. Да твою мать. Чего не хватало тут в текстурах застрять. Это будет вообще весело. Не надо вот только мне вот это поломанных ног. Короче, ничего тут интересного. Кинокладбище. Так, этот дом у нас что? По идее, обыскать можно. Перемещение. Хера себе. Что, прям такой дом пиздатый? Прям сюда надо именно перемещаться? Или может прям какая-то тайная лаборатория? Хуя себе, пианино.
A visitor? What an unexpected surprise! Please, come in. Come in.
In my experience, any stranger this friendly either wants to rob and airlock you or sell you something.
Nonsense. Out here in the wilderness, we welcome all who come to our door. Now come in, make yourself
Наверное, каннибалы.
Excellent. You've arrived at just the right time.
Сука, точно каннибалы.
My wife is putting the finishing touches on dinner. Please, make yourself at home until it's ready.
Так.
Oh, hello there. You come for dinner?
Да, конечно ж, пожрать человечины.
Sorry, I'm not real good with names. It just gets hard to remember things. I recall moments, feelings, but the details slip.
I felt like that after my dad passed. Walked around in a haze for weeks. I'm sorry you're feeling that way too.
Other times it's like there's fog. Sorry, have we talked about this before?
Хот-додик.
That's nice of you. I usually feel better after I eat. Mama said dinner's almost ready, huh?
Ох, семейка, сука, веселая, блядь. Ебать их сколько тут, ты что?
You must be famished. So are we, my friend, but one can't rush a fine meal.
Сука, точно людоеды. Я что, выйти не могу? Ха-ха-ха-ха!
Is it sticking again? I'm afraid nothing out here works the way it used to. There's a bit of a trick to jimmying it open. I'll see to it once we've finished.
А, я небось главный на этом ужине, да? Главное блюдо.
I do appreciate your patience. I'd hate to serve company with anything but the best, though. I'm afraid we don't get many visitors out here. The raptidons and marauders scare off all but the boldest. I'm sure I would remember something like that. Now please, try to relax. Undue stress tends to spoil the meal, you know.
Ну, давайте, ребятки. Я вас уже насквозь вижу. Да, сука, заперто. Охуеть. Ну окей. Хотите пизделку, будет вам пизделка. Это без проблем. Так, пока никто не видит, все пиздим.
Hey, what are you doing in my room? Liar! You're trying to steal the last of my rocket candies, aren't you? The ones that come in a bottle with a rocket ship on it. Like the other man used to bring. I'm not telling you.
А сучёныш. Бля, это что, баба еще? Ебать ты, сука, страшная. Ебаная семейка Адамсов. Да, чувствую, тут будет жаркий бой. Да, домину тут я ебу либо бу. Опача. Опача. Ну-ка, ну-ка. Сейчас взломаем, погодите-ка. Ебать.
Who does something like this?
Охуеть. По кускам. Да, красота. Блять, надо пушку потяжелее взять. Почему бы не взять огнемет? Да, возьму его. Они уже все съебались вниз. Ждут меня. Ну что, хотите поиграть? Давайте поиграем. No problem. А, это можно сбежать. Не, ну хули. Хотите сыграть? Давайте сыграем.
But what's this? You're tracking blood into the kitchen. Oh dear. You've been nosy, haven't you?
Quickly, my dear. He's getting agitated. We can't let the meat spoil.
Don't worry. We'll make this quick.
Look out! Nice one! Patch yourself up, Captain!
Отступаем, отступаем. Вот так вот.
Gotta admit, killing them felt real good.
Отлично. Отлично. Семейка долбоебов. Да, на террасе. Все. Городок закончился, они дорогу еще там поворачивают. Так. О, дневник, дневник. Далековато. Сейчас могу так круг ебануть и вернуться. Блин. О, это уже ближе к теме. Сука, жирный пидор какой, а? Ах ты, блядь. Умри, 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 блядь. Не хочет. Не, это не прокатит. Сука. Нужен какой-то план. Блять, а если с балкона? Достану, увижу вообще через снайперку. Вот же сука, а. Чё, нихера? Ах! Не хочет. Хреново, я думал, сейчас их наебу. Блять. Сука. Хотят, чтоб я, блядь, прям в честном бою их положил, а? Не, ну можно обойти, в принципе, вернуться в город, зайти там же, блядь, с той стороны можно. Ну, блядь, неохота.
Okay. Here we go. That's just pissing him off.
Почему сразу ко мне? Жирный пидор, блядь. Блядь, труп мешает. Давайте, сучки, вставайте. Папка все уже порешал. Еще какой-то недобиток шарится. Блять. Отличненько. Супер. Да, огнемет тащит. Что вам сказать, ребятки? Это самый пиздопротивный. На, сука, нажрись, блядь. Ублюдок. Коноборец. Так, отличненько. Так, тут у нас опечатано здание. Блять, ну вас нахер. Заебался уже с вами воевать. Так. Бля, да сколько же вас, ну? Шустрый, блядь. немножко глушило. Так, 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 так. Пиздец, больше ничего интересного. Так, сука, я вас всех выжгу. Напалмом, блядь. Вот так вот, сучки. Это что за хуйня? Запечатано. Хм. Может потом по сюжету откроется? Сука, сколько этих тварей тут, блядь. Так, в это нам здание, по-моему, надо. Хули оно закрыто. Ну заебись, хоть ключ есть. Такая большая корзина и пустая. Это просто разочарование. Почти года. Так, 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 добро пожаловать к хранителю, бла-бла-бла-бла-бла-бла. Так, посмотрите характеристики сотрудников. Так. У Санжара есть дурная привычка перегружать отчеты числами статистическими данными. Не слишком силен в создании слоганов, рекламных роликов или призывов. Презентациям недостает живости, эмоциональной притягательности и забавных отсылок. Санджар также проявляет нежелательную для высшего руководства тенденцию к выполнению работы вместо делегирования ее другим лицам. В целом стиль работы Санджара отличается излишним вниманием к деталям и удивительным отсутствием общего видения. Мы не можем рекомендовать его к дальнейшему продвижению. Нуждаются в работе над следующими областями: межличностная коммуникация, лаконичность, распределение обязанностей, генерирование идей. Ебать. Так, характеристика Санджар-Нанди. Так, это мы прочли. Грэм Брайант. Давай взломаем. Для редактора относительно низкого звена Грэм демонстрирует глубокое понимание механизма рекламного продвижения товара. Обладает талантом к созданию запоминающихся слоганов. В то же время Грэм испытывает трудности с лаконичностью формулировок и пренебрегает рекомендациями по использованию шрифтов и форматов. В некоторых его работах замечен пропагандистский подтекст. Рекомендовано дальнейшее наблюдение. Так, Дора Эриксон. Дора проявляет недюжинные способности к лаконичной, но убедительной подаче и созданию броских слоганов. Ее организаторские навыки также заслуживают высокой оценки. Она способна провести длительное совещание на любую тему и придумать для коллег множество дел, рекомендованных к повышению. Пилить все данные. Ну, удаляем. Все равно нет толку от них никаких. Такс. Барахлишка. Плазменный карабин, да. Нормально.
Get away! Oh, thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Meta Queen showed up. Then Raptidon, who's a void blast mess. I ran in here, and now the door's locked. Little help? Easier than it sounds, alright? Next time you get chased by Raptidons, you let me know the rationality of your decisions. Phew. Thanks, mister. My buddy had a key, but I ain't heard him in a while. He locked me in here and took off. Probably got munched. So look for a dead guy, I guess. Or a rat. Maybe it's in a rat belly. Gross.
Mosto.
Sure. Beats not answering questions. Huxley. I'm an iconoclast runner. The iconoclast runner. Fastest we've got. Ain't a Raptidon on this void-forsaken hellhole that can catch me. I'm sorry. Put me in a tiny room like this and I'm liable to flip. Not keen on tight spaces, you know? Oh, that'd be my people. Graham and Zora and Milton, and I really miss them. You gonna let me out of here? I want to get back to Amber Heights. My buddy locked me in here. I told you that. It was for my safekeeping, on account of Raptidons wanting to munch on my head. But, I mean, okay, yes, fine. I get myself into sticky situations. It's just part of the life, alright? Sometimes you gotta hide in a trash can so you don't get eaten by monsters. Oh, neither was I. Who'd hide in a trash can? Gross. Probably. I don't know. When I try to read things, my mind gets to wandering about all the things I could be doing instead. Get me out of here! What do you mean? It's locked. Wait, upward? Oh my eternal soul, it worked!
Вот тупица.
Thank you so much. It was getting all stuffy in there, and I was getting a mite lightheaded, and I think maybe I was gonna die. Now I'm out here, and I'm headed back to Amber Heights. Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy, and hey, who is your identical, slightly blurry friend? But I ain't got nothing on me. How's about a heaping helping of appreciation and respect? That's true. Okay, fine. Here. Thanks a lot, mister.
Нос. Дайте мне крутую броню, крутые пушки. Блять, всякая хуйня. Где это все? Ну а тут что? Будет что-то интересненькое, а? сука. Сука, сука, сука. Так, ну отсюда, я думаю, этих тварей можно немножко покрошить. Вот это неожиданный ход. Сука. Но это еще не все. Давайте, ведите огонь по ним. 5, что ли? Вот так вот. Отличненько. Так, тут я могу спуститься, нахер надо. А, все это обратно. Спускаться все равно придется.
Feels like the old bits outside of Edgewater. Used up, unneeded, left to settle into ruin.
They're on us.
Черт. Сука. Что так орёте, а? Недорезанная. Сука, там еще твари. Где они, блядь, соберутся? Уже заебался их вырезать. Ну что, зареспаунились там или что, блядь? Сука, я что-то проходил. Ебаная эта коррозия. Ебаная кислота. Сука, как они быстро респаунятся, ну это пиздец. Несправедливо. Голяк, голяк. Хера нету. О, на второй этаж лестничка. Такс, 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 такс. А, сука, заперто. еще интересного? Бля, чувствую, придется покупать розовую броню и ходить в ней. Что же это уже ни хера не тащит. Так, что тут у нас? Тоже никак не попасть. Странно. Хер поймешь. Ух ты. Что за кораблик? Любопытно. Может, какой-то контрабандист? Сука, жалко, нельзя, блядь, не зайти, ничего с ними не сделать. Очень-очень жаль.
Reminds me of the crew cabin on one of my first ships.
You reckon the smell ever goes away? Maybe the wind off the sea helps.
Сплошная разруха.
A fine day for business, isn't it? Anyway, what can I do for you? You weren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it. Oh, yes. No doubt someone else was having a laugh at my expense before you. This has been my albatross. The great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them. One of the executives required a transplant.
He's lucky they didn't want a liver or a heart.
I thought volunteering to donate might improve my prospects. Apparently not. In charge of a scrap heap of a city, abandoned by the board and surviving only through the hypocrisy of our trading partners. I hadn't thought of it that way. But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you for that. Was there something else? Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less.
Элитный шлем, нихуя себе. А броню?
What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done in Halcyon, and proper documentation is a key part of that. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board.
Бомбу?
See, that doesn't even make sense. This is an electronic form. You don't need paperweights.
Hardly the point, sir.
I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch, illegally and in secret.
Really? Most of the time they do illegal stuff out in the open. Cheaper that way.
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board.
Do you really think so?
Don't encourage him.
I admit I've been hatching this scheme for quite some time. I just needed someone capable to help me carry it out. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are. That's part of the problem. She has certain ambitions for Stellar Bay, and I fear my asking her would give her the leverage she's been looking for.
Don't get yourself worked up, sir. It's perfectly natural to have a healthy fear of her.
We really don't need to discuss this now, Celia. Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there. That would do it. A foolproof plan if I ever heard one. I'll leave the execution to you.
Юморист, блядь. Ух, далековато топать. Так, ладно. Пока займемся Love Story. Что за дурень?
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in a raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails? You look like a man who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts? I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center outside Edgewater. He had this grand idea to make it a museum for halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially. Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss them. Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett, but I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him? I'd feel awful if somebody from home was in trouble and we didn't do nothing.
Tell you what,
Начинается.
I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Thanks, Captain.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mannequin I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there, too. Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff. Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smoked? Smooth?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues. You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well, but we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
С этими ихними поручениями. Ну, хорошо, хоть оно тут рядом.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say?
Что ты дура?
Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia. I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on. Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me that back-to-work look. Anyhow, thank you.
Ой, так. Блять, защиту бы надо потянуть, что вообще пиздец. И технология слабая. Так, способности. Надо здоровье прокачать. Что вообще тухлое. Так. Бля, тут приросла просто
I'd give
работница.
you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess in Edgewater was in better shape than this.
Hey, you want to try running a cannery with obsolete machinery? You be my guest.
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong flange, so your sealer isn't sealing right, and...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to try that. Anyway, what do you folks need? That he's got his load on and I'm stuck covering his shift? That's... Wow. I sure feel like an ass now. Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on Catherine herself. Still, it's good to know what happened to him. And that I ought to start looking for a replacement. Something else on your mind? Sure can. If you want to pay me more than
Да
Nell's
хуй
offering.
тебе. Чё платить не буду. О, сейчас может удастся мне убедить.
Fair enough. The damn thing's been a headache anyway. Take the poster then. And if I never hear another word about it, it'll be too soon.
Что-то не туда забежал. Несу, друг, тебе хорошие вести. Блять, не та. Да вот он.
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? I keep wondering if it's come in. Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was going to spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
Так, окей. О, надо пойти обворовать ту старушку в аптеке. Да этот вообще красавчик на монархе. Звезда.
Hello again, dearie. We're gonna get you. Such a pity, isn't it? But I suppose it's an important reminder that one can have too much of a good thing. Even cost tolerine.
Окей, пойдем сломаем, похуй. Так. Данные пациента. Рамнарим. Дозировка кофеиноида. Стандартная заметка медицинского инженера. Нарушена функция печени, вероятно, результат алкоголизма. Повышенная наглость, вероятно, результат алкоголизма. Склонность к изоляции от общества, вероятно, результат алкоголизма. Крутой врач. Так, личные файлы Уильямс. Заметки по экспериментам, проведенным доктором Уильямсом. Так, реактицизм плюс перчинки. По моему предположению, такое сочетание препаратов должно было раскрыть мой разум и чувства и помочь мне воспринять иные реальности. Если это и произошло, мое тело не вынесло нагрузки. Вскоре после приема рассчитанной дозы у меня выступил холодный пот, начался тремор и легкая паранойя. Сделанное время приступа записи едва ли могут оказаться полезными. Вероятно, в этом виновен как раз последний фактор. Тем не менее, в целом препараты оказали на меня самое оживительное действие. Нужно будет попробовать снизить дозу, когда прекратится сердцебиение. Так, ягодный экстракт плюс дебилероу. После уже проведенных экспериментов у меня появилось предположение, что заглянуть в вечность можно, на время лишив себя восприятия внешней реальности. Увы, успех был лишь частичным. Выбранная комбинация препаратов быстро лишила меня зрения и сил. Слабость быстро довела меня до ступора. Очнуться мне пришлось в луже собственной блевотины. Причем мне сильно хотелось тили-тили чипсов. Да. Так, тройная доза каустолерена. Он сдох, походу. Последний эксперимент был неудачным. Так, Эдвардс. Проект номер 1. 23 629 слов. Космическая невеста. Она юная землянка, которой на монархе все в новинку. Он трудолюбивый заводчик и тунца. Их взаимное притяжение оборачивается головокружительным романом, которому суждено навсегда изменить Стеллар Бэй. Глава 3. В 1000 световых лет от Арканзаса. «Вещи можешь оставить здесь», — сказал мистер Эллиот, открывая перед Эбби дверь в тускло освещенную квартиру. Помещение было небольшое, но отличалось каким-то особым уютом. Эбби поставила сумки на пол и ослабила пряжкой комбинезона. Мистер Эллиот залился краской и кашлянул. «Если будет жарко, можешь открыть окно. С залива дует приятный ветерок, только с жукороем осторожнее». Протянув руку за ключом от комнаты, Эбби случайно коснулась его пальцев. У него были грубые, сильные руки. Руки настоящего фермера. Она почувствовала, что краснеет. «Вы так добры ко мне, мистер Эллиот». «Зови меня Арчибальд», — сказал он. О, сука, прям роман, блядь. Проект номер 2. 15 886 слов. Торговец страстями. Бывший иконоборец, выше всего на свете ценящий свои идеалы, находит любовь в объятиях загадочного мужчины с трагическим прошлым. Ебучий случай же в педике, блядь. Что он послушает? Разум или сердце? Глава 2. Высокий темноволосый красавец. «Проходите», — пригласил бестелесный голос из приемника. Он казался опасным и в то же время мягким, прямо как глоток виски айсберговой выдержки. Дверь мягко отъехала в сторону, и в комнате запахло приятным парфюмом. По шее Бродрика пробежал холодок. Он двинулся вверх по лестнице. Брокер сидел спиной к первоклассному индивидуальному обогревателю почти уголь. Его тонкие пальцы были сложены шалашиком. Значит, вот он какой загадочный шельник, не первый год манипулирующий монархом. Бродрик чувствовал волну теплого воздуха от обогревателя, но жарко ему стало не от нее. Причиной был взгляд брокера. Брокер поставил на стол пару стаканов и бутылку чего-то явно очень дорогого. Разлив напиток, он протянул один стакан в Бродрику. «Это мне?» — спросил он безуспешно, пытаясь не смотреть в эти обжигающие глаза. «Разумеется», — промурлыкал брокер. «Говорят, вы человек смелых взглядов». Бродрик взял свой стакан. Брокер продолжал говорить. На его черные глаза упала прядь темных волос. Именно поэтому у меня и есть к вам весьма интересное предложение. Бродрик едва не выронил свой напиток. Он выпил его залпом в надежде скрыть дрожащие руки, и ему обожгло горло. Так, проект номер 3. 1146. Блять, 1146 307 слов. Исцеление сердца. Молодой, но уже закаленный боями солдат в правлении земли прибывает в отдаленную больницу на Монархии, чтобы залечить раны. Однако, когда он знакомится с Гейл, элегантной женщиной средних лет, она берет на себя и его сердце. Глава 34. Исцеляющее прикосновение. Флетчер прижал ее к себе. Он чувствовал, что силы полностью к нему вернулись. Но он все еще был здесь, в больнице, с ней. Он склонил голову, словно прощая ее опасения взглядом безупречный зеленый глаз. «Гейл, управление земли вызывает меня на службу. Меня отправляют в Византий, но я не знаю, как мне уехать. Только не сейчас». «Так оставайся», — мягко шепнула она ему прямо в ухо. «Я наверняка найду, к чему тебя тут приспособить». «Клянусь законом», — простонал он, притягивая ее ближе. Она коснулась его губ пальцем. «Здесь действует только один закон — любовь». Ебучий, сука, случай. Литература, блять, огонь. Так, надо все пиздить, 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 еще раз пиздить. А вот эта хуйня. Сейчас, может, еще бабульку на что-то разведу. А, уже все, не базаришь, ну нахуй пошла.
Ah, the charmer. Welcome back. Drink, chat, or business?
Алкоголичка.
All of the above?
Says someone who's never had any fun.
Exactly. See, I'm glad someone on your crew's got some sensible, got her head on straight. Whew, that hits the spot. Right in the, oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yes. We're in business. Let's go.
That was fast. I gotta see about stocking some on the ship.
You be careful. The first one's free. After that, they'll offer you gainful employment. Great. Where to? Oh, Hiram? I ain't checked in on that man in an age. He's running the giant radio tower we lovingly call Devil's Peak. We'll be going south and west, mostly along the road till we're past Fallbrook. Out there, there's a western slope that'll lead us through some fun. You like hunting, right? That's fun. If you're more of a spelunker, Rotting River will take you into the mountain caverns. We can discuss options when we get closer. That said, 3's already a crowd. I don't mind waiting somewhere until you got a spot open.
Ой. Ладно, пусть пока по рвате погуляет.
I hope you like being part of our crew, Nyoka. We're real excited to have you.
That's a pretty big gun for a hunter.
I don't know what the game's like on Terra 2, but out here, the daintier weapons ain't gonna cut it. Manosaurs require stopping power.
Yeah.
In case I did not impress it upon you before, I'd like to enjoy my solitude.
Так. Надо эту проблемку решить как-то. Стоп. А. Сюда мне что ли надо, блядь? Как к нему попасть? Чуть не совсем понял. А, типа заначку найти. Ладно. Блять. Ну, интересно же заглянуть. Битое трогать, конечно, не хочу.
Nicely done.
Так, возмутились, да?
Make him regret it.
Так, а это же плохо. Сука, надо было присесть, блять, чтобы они не видели. Да, как они кражи, пидоры, не любят. Как-то, блядь, тихонечко это сделать.
You gotta teach me that.
Вот так вот, по-тихому. Хоп-хоп, мусорок. Все, я крутой парень. Ладно, пойдем с бабой это поговорим.
I shipped with a merc who had a gun like yours, Nyoka. He polished it, banged to it, slept with it. Not like that, as far as I know.
О, с ними еще ж можно поговорить.
Where are you going with this?
He couldn't hit the broadside of an assault cruiser, hence the tin shredder.
Wouldn't be the first man I met bearing compensation for his lack of skill.
What are you talking about? Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell, and revel with us?
А, тут бесполезняк. Чего интересного. Пойдем ломать терминал. Надеюсь, взлома хватит. Где этот ебучий терминал? Хотел бы, блять, знать. О, на втором этаже точно. Ага, хер её обкрадешь.
I don't have time for this.
Это было изи. Красавчик. Так. Файлы Брокстона Хекта представляют собой десятки карточек племенного китунца, разнообразные фармакологические формулы, размышления о том, почему китунец предпочитает бабы шишкачиной, бобы шишкачины, а не обыкновенную шишкачью колбасу. Чушь какая-то. Так, Файлы Велмы состоят из договоров на поставку, бланков заказа, электронных таблиц, финансовых отчетов, в которых можно утонуть. Внимательно изучив финансовую отчетность, можно увидеть, что на протяжении последних лет она понемногу перечисляла средства операционного бюджета на личный счет. Кража умело замаскирована. Отдельные случаи можно объяснить погрешностью управления простыми арифметическими ошибками. Однако количество этих случаев доказывает, что ошибки совершились умышленно. Бракстон, по-моему, рыба в резервуаре 23 аслика вздулась. Если ты сегодня пропустишь, ничего страшного, пожалуйста, предупреждай меня, чтобы была в курсе дозировок Велма. Мистер Нанди, нам срочно нужно обсудить ситуацию с Китунсом. За последние 2 месяца у меня 4 партии сгнило на складе, потому что мы не нашли покупателей. Я понимаю, что ситуация с коллегой ставит нас в трудное положение, но пора подумать о том, как спасать Stellar Bay, если продажи не наладятся. Веб-боллард. Брокс, куда ты пропал? Ты пропустил 3 смены, это уже слишком даже для тебя. Че, пойдем бабу шантажировать? Либо начальство сдать, а хер.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
We spat in your spirits, Velma.
You notice my mood? I'm surprised you can see straight today.
I could be seeing triple and I'd still think you're being unkind. I just might find it funnier.
Well, you try wrangling half a ton of dead fish with decades-old equipment and see what it does for your disposition. Anyway, what do you folks need? Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate. Yeah, and did you miss the part where I'm working doubles to cover for everyone who decides not to show? I'm the one who keeps this place running. That money's mine, one way or another.
Ах ты сучка.
Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately. Something else on your mind?
Отлично. Пацаны спасены. Работа будет.
Why don't you grab a chair, sit a spell and revel with us?
Пиздуй работать.
Got an update for us? We can't afford to sit this out for too much longer. Know what I mean? Well, I'll be a Raptidon's dinner. Reckon I ought to listen to gossip more often. As agreed, here's your compensation. Ain't a lot, but I hope it shows how much we appreciate all you've done. Now me and my friends here better get back to work before Velma blows a fuse.
Супер. Так. Технология. Мне надо дальний бой качнуть. И защиту. Потому что вообще на днище просто. Так. Поближе. Дальше. Еще дальше. Еще какая-то задачка в городе.
If I never smell another raft, it'll be too soon.
Weren't you a sawbones? Figured you ought to have smelled worse.
Sure, but those things reek like bad cologne. It's different.
I'm with you there. At least humans have the courtesy to wait a while before their bodies start to stink.
Most of them.
Заебись. Какой еще Кэтрин? Мне нужно встретиться. Мой красавчик корабль, безнадега. А, на улицу? Ну, нахер. Ясно. Ага, это очень далеко. Так, это ближе всех. Окей. Чё тут? Прокачаем бабёнку. А что у него тут? Броня хуйня. Ручной пулемет. Ну, баба, сука. Блин, шутки с ней плохи. Ложь увеличивают. Ну, пускай будет.
Can we talk?
Ну давай.
Hey, got a favor to ask you.
Начинается.
Figure while we're out here in the wilderness anyhow, we might stop in on an old friend of mine. Preferably before we get to Hiram's. It's on the way, don't worry. You don't seem the type to run off and get yourself killed, and I could use the help. I'll be upfront with you. I hate asking for help. I hate it. Every time I give someone the opportunity to disappoint me, they seem to make it their most immediate goal. But this, what I'm thinking, it's dangerous.
Опасность — это мое второе имя.
Nothing we can't handle. I used to run with a band of hunters. Friends. 6 of us. We were on Monarch when the corporations pulled out, and we helped a lot of people pick up the pieces. I haven't seen 2 of them in years, and the rest I know to be dead. I'd like to gather their effects and bury them all in the same places, like the family we once were. I saw it happen. Hell, one of them was in my arms at the time. His name was Hayes, and he's our first stop. I buried him a ways from our encampment. I'll show you where he rests. He had a medallion in his effects. That's what I'll bring home to Barry. A long time ago, we built an encampment in one of Monarch's cave systems. Trouble is, a Mantiqueen showed up and kicked us all out. If we can find Rebecca and Anders, they'll know how to lure her out. Then, we kill the bitch and bury everyone's medallions together.
Прохождение этой планеты чувствую будет долгим.
Oh, yes. I can't wait.
Да, блять. Чувствую, что я буду самостоятельно убивать. Ох, ебать, как далеко. Ну ладно. Окей. Сохраняемся. Ну, на этом мы сегодня закончим. Всем спасибо за просмотр и до новых встреч.